Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Survival Saturday. Tonight's topic is, let's see, what is tonight's topic? What is it? Oh, yeah. After the event, what are your plans? And how that one shifted over. Oh, okay, I got to go and fix that later. Okay. That sentence shifted over out of the picture. So how's everybody doing out there? Let's go up to comments and see if everything's working here right. Scroll up to the top. Okay, so first one in was Walt Rogers, then Troop 1351, Shady Hill Homestead, Phelan Clan Wolf. And Phelan Clan Wolf put out, been a member for 25 months. And then he started, and I sang back to him. And if anybody knows what's going on about this, you get an extra 10 points. Everybody's going, what? All right. Next was Geeky Gardens, then Mother Earth Garden Club, KP Heathen, Rebel Canners, Savage Lee, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. It's the Marshmallow Man. Jay's in the house. Let's see. Tammy Harder, Gunslinger Outdoors. Happy Mac is here. And there was a question already. Yes, and that's what we're talking about. What are your plans for this particular event or that particular event? Some of these events are serious. Some of them are like, what the heck are these people talking about blowing up the internet for an ET showing up? Anyways, yeah, so that's what we're going to be getting into here. All righty, so with that, let's see if I can get this. Hopefully, this will work right here. Come over here. Let's see what the next. Oh, it didn't go all the way like it was supposed to. It froze. Okay, stupid thing. Warning, danger, Will Robinson, possible fantasy fair porn Kool-Aid drinking zone ahead. Then again, maybe not. Okay, that's all my slides for tonight. It's 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, we broke 50 degrees today. And with the blinds open in the living room, the sun at the right angle there is coming in low, and it heated up the living room up to 72 degrees in the house. Yeah. All righty. So I'm going to drop it down here for those that want to come up and talk about this. Then I'm going to go into and explain what's going on with this. So until someone comes up here, let me go back. Okay. So until someone comes up, all right. So after the event, well, this is going to be start of a new series every Saturday. And I'm just, where am I up to? Hang on. Let me bring it up over here so I can look at it here. I think I'm up into the middle of November with ideas. Asteroid, Long Valley, Yellowstone, gold is confiscated, European War. Oh, I'm up to December. I'm up to December 6th with after a holy war starts. And right, so we're going to switch this up here. And got Tammy coming in here. And froze. There are a lot of this is what's going to happen out there. And if you ever watch Doomsday Preppers, you know what I'm talking about. I think Doomsday Prepper did more to hurt the prepping movement than Captain Crazy did. Actually, I think Captain Crazy may have helped. Can you hear me okay, Tammy?
I'm on a delay. It's kind of weird.
She's on a delay.
I may go out and come back in.
Okay. All right. Okay, okay. Yes, and we have some of those. We have those including Yellowstone, the San Andreas Fault, severing off part of California. We have the New Madrid Fault. We have a bunch of these in here as well. And so, yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of these coming up here. And I will read through the list here in a little bit here. Nobody can prepare for anything. It's all, well, you can prepare for a base plan. And then after that, you gotta pick and choose which ones you're going to do. And a lot of that has to do with what is common in your area, what has not common but has happened in your area before, and what is there supposed geological evidence of it happening in your area too. But yeah, it's all best guesses. All right, here comes Lewis. Maybe I got the blank screen down below. There he is. And there's Tammy.
Oh, much better.
Let me switch around here. There we go. And so, but what we're going to be talking, some of the things we're going to be covering are, what the heck was that person smoking? And the other says, yeah, that's something we need to worry about. And Utah Mike is here. And wow, had a couple more people come in, and I just noticed the number is now at 16. It was up at 24 before. Those must have been the trolls that found out they couldn't comment unless they subscribed to the channel. Not to join the paying ones, but just to, subscribe. So I guess about 8 or so trolls left when they found out they couldn't just make comments about subscribing. Oh, darn! I know all these blue wrenches, everybody's just ready to smack on them. It's whack-a-troll time. All right, so I'm going to, we're about 10 after. So, all right, so, lost Lewis. I had a feeling the way his pixels were, it was acting up a little bit. So, all right, so I'm going to go back up here to the beginning, and I'm going to read what's coming up here. So next week is after the power grid collapses. Now, I think we can all pretty much agree that's a possibility, whether totally or regionally, there's going to be problems with the power grid. There's been collapses before. There was, what was it? I'm trying to remember the year. Background, back east, northeast there was a big thing. He made a movie about it. Where were you when the lights went out? Bushcraft family, how you doing? And so, it's happened before, and it's going to happen again. But how bad is up in the air. But, we're talking after the power grid collapses, what are your plans? And I got some nasty information that certain people have done that's going to help precipitate that actually happening. So we'll talk about that next week. The following week, I was going to do the Ides of March, but I'm going to shift one of the ones from the end back up into that one. So I'll get another one in there for the following week. March 22nd, China's economy collapses. What are your plans when China's economy collapses and how it's going to impact us? Both, there's going to be a whole bunch of ways it can impact us. Materials coming in. China trying to sell off all the debt, the American debt they bought. Chinese-owned companies here in the United States, what's going to happen to them. So that's one of the things there. Let's see. The supply chain fails, kind of tagging onto that, but a little bit differently. Pros, after California falls into the sea, what are your plans? And believe it or not, since California is a major part of the U.S. economy, although they are dropping off because of the stupid things the great nuisance and his band of demons rats are doing, that could change. Let's see. This one's called After the Local Mega Disaster. So this is going to be one that's more local to certain areas. We'll talk about that one, but we're going to clue that one in that way. After the fuel runs out, no more natural gas or petroleum oil on that one. After the medicines are gone, what are your plans? After the rule of law is gone, what are your plans? After the insect invasion, all those pesticides and stuff they've been spraying, and the bugs have all in 1 year became immune to all the stuff they're spraying out there, and they're coming after you with a vengeance. And let's see here. After the U.S. economy collapses, after the polar ice caps melt in a single year, what are your plans? After the water stops flowing, after the Constitution is revoked, after the magnetic poles flip. Then on June 21st, we're taking a break from it. That's the 12-year anniversary of GrayManPrepping that day. So we're taking a break there on June 21st. Next one is after your home is destroyed, what is the plans? So that one's going to get a little more personal on you guys. Let's see. After the invasion, what are your plans? After the super hurricane, after the asteroid hits, after the East Coast mega tsunami, after the New Madrid supervolcano, after the zombie infection spreads. That can go several ways on that one. Let's see. After a year and a half winter, which means no summer, what are your plans? After Florida suddenly sinks, what are your plans? After the 6,000-year Earth tilt, what are your plans? After the Long Valley supervolcano, what are your plans? After a year of worldwide famine, what are your plans? After the micronova, what are your plans? After ET arrives, what are your plans? After Yellowstone erupts, what are your plans? After a year and a half of hot summer, in other words, no winter, and it's all hot for a year and a half. After the Mississippi fault splits, after the gold is confiscated, after the silver is confiscated. This one was suggested by our favorite Kaylin Strain. Butch Graves is in the house. Tennessee Tactical One's in the house. Hey, Jeremy. This was suggested by Kaylin, and it's a little off kilter. She said it was. After a dimensional shift, what are your plans? That one's going to be fun. That one's just going to be fun. That one's going to be fun. What we have lined out on that one. After the FEMA detainment camps start running. After a all-Europe war starts. After your loved ones are suddenly gone. After a holy war starts. After WW3 kicks off. And that's as far as I go. So if you have any suggestions that I did of topics of big events that you want to see addressed that I didn't mention, go ahead. In the bottom of the description is the email, camppatton@gmail.com. Send me a recommendation on it and type in how you want. You're thinking, I was thinking, how does this go? If it goes, this happens, and that goes. That's what Kaylin did. And Diana Chu's in here now. So Suzanne Gallet. Yeah, got everybody. Yeah, got everybody. All right. So that's what's coming. That's what the after the event is. It's all like we're going to discuss an event for the first. We're going to set out the what's called the ground rules for tabletop exercises for the first 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to talk about what your plans are, what possible things can happen. How could it go different than what you know at the point in time where we start our discussion? So, and you know, just as an example, this isn't a major event, but since we bought the house in 2016 over there, it has never been this warm the end of February, 1st of March here, ever. And everybody else in town is like, why are we seeing 50-degree weather? It's still winter. So, no, Holy War stop. No, after the Holy War starts here in the United States. That's what that one is. Different groups, the extremists, not the mainline cool people, but the extremists start a holy war between this faction, that faction, this faction, and this faction. You know, that's what that one's all about. Oh man, I almost swallowed my tongue on that one. Oh man. Woo. Gunslinger? Oh man, trying to give me the choke on my own tongue? Wow.
They are they are still digging out the toilets in Pompeii.
Okay, the toilets in Pompeii. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, well, big volcano.
Yeah, I'm wondering where my other two helpers are at. No, well, wait, is Jay in the house? Did Jay come in? I thought I saw Jay come in. I don't know.
Yeah, he was here for a few minutes.
Yeah, okay. Kathy D. Salt and Lights here. Yeah, I expect stuff from Jay and Mark. Well, that's why you put the seat down before you stand up on it, trying to get stuff down off the little cupboards behind the toilet. Oh, man. CB at Hugo Homestead. Hey, come on, brain. I just had a thought, and then I saw CB there, and a squirrel ran across in front of my face. Toilets. I'm trying to go backwards in my mind here to try to find a thought I lost. Oh, well, it's gone. Ooh, some of your trees are budding out. Oh, that reminds me. Dang it, I forgot to do that today. I was on Shadow Scouts for several hours, and I was supposed to go outside and put the white wrap around the trunks and the lower branches of my fruit trees so they wouldn't start pumping sap, because we're supposed to start cold again, but fortunately it's still freezing at night, so that might keep it from doing it. So I got to get that on so they don't start trying to bud out here. Of course, if they bud out before the winds hit and they actually set the fruit and the fruit doesn't freezes, that might be a good thing. But yeah, the other thing I did do another 5 pounds of ground beef with taco seasoning in it, and I upped the level of taco seasoning again. I think I found the proper amount. 5 tablespoons per pound. That tastes pretty good. Let's see. What else? We'll talk about it. Yeah, so if you have any specific ones and you want to throw out a little bit of narrative as to what you're thinking about, rather than just saying, the moon moves closer to the earth, and don't just say that and say, and this possibly happens or that possibly happens. What else could happen? Give me some clues on it so I have something to work with. Hunting and Stuff with J&J. Hello, how you doing? And so for dealing with the event, what we're going to be talking about for the next into December, the different events every week. Tonight I'm going to go a little bit onto a base plan, and I froze. And then for the second part of it, after the event, what are your plans? Lost Tammy. What are your plans? We're going to talk about your options, things you should plan for, and have done. Now, one thing I want to get out of the way first here is a plan is not a plan unless it's written down. It is a pipe dream that is doomed to fail if it's not written down. And here she comes back in, maybe. Is it going to bring her in? There she goes. Yeah, whether you take out a whole year's crop or two, depending on how bad the year is. Mm-hmm. And so we're looking at weather problems with crops and stuff. There are several ways weather affects crops. Too much rain, no rain, too cold, too hot. I got two of those in there. I got the year with no summer. So you got 18 months of winter, and I got 18 months of hot summer, no winter. So like that one, there's stuff that needs certain number of chill days, like apples. Ain't gonna get any apples.
Yeah, or if we had a frost, you don't get the apples.
Yeah, or if you have a year and you have all summer is all winter, yeah, you're gonna have problems with all sorts of fruits, everything. I'm just reading the chat here. What about Well, that's the thing. That's why you need to write it down. And I'll tell you, this is part of what I did for Homeland Security. I would write out a plan, and I get it all done. Then I call a committee, get a committee together. We'd go over it and have a tabletop on it, make any tweaks on it, and then we would put it out to those who wanted to test it. And then we'd have an exercise, and we'd test it, practice it. And we would have critiquers there that would write down everything that went right, everything that went wrong, and then we'd get back together, and then we'd go, okay, well, this idea didn't work. It was good on paper, but it didn't work in reality. So we need to change that a little bit, and we would change the plan. And after, I kind of retired in 2018. So after 16 years of doing that, I got pretty good at writing a plan where it worked pretty good the first time out. Not perfect, but pretty good. And that's what you have it. If you have it written down, what you're going to do and everything, it works better. Example of this is, hang on, I'm going to look at all the things here. Yep, exactly, Gunslinger. Cascading events, that's some of that cascading stuff will be talked on the ones that will cause cascading. Importance of a 2-year supply.
Yes, so important.
Yeah, it may be a nationwide thing, but you're in an area which you actually do pretty good. Such as the year without out of summer, where it's winter all time long. Geeky Gardens and How to Garden will love. They're down in Florida. All right, we got a 18 months growing season. All right. So an example of testing, having a plan written down and testing it is a family fire plan. You have it written down so everybody can read it, and you may want to use, if you have youngins, you may want to have some pictures in there to help them, get it in, because some people learn visually, some learn audibly, some need both to work. And so you practice you draw it out, the plan, what everybody's going to do and where they're going to meet. And so example is, all right, if there's a fire in the living room, everybody make their way to the kitchen and go out the back door around and meet at the fire hydrant in front of the neighbor's house.
Our school has a disaster plan, and if they have to evacuate the school, there's a plan to take the kids to a certain building, and all of the kids take a field trip to that building in kindergarten, first grade, and it's only like 3 or 4 blocks from the school, which is great, until I pointed out to them that my kids came in 5th grade and 4th grade and 2nd grade, and they never went on that field trip, and they have no idea where that building is in town. So it's great to have a plan.
Yeah.
But you have to think about, like, who's not involved in that plan. Like, they always assumed every child had been on that field trip, would know where to go. Well, no, not everybody's been on that field trip.
Yeah. And Wayne Hunter, welcome. And that's one of the things, why you test it. And I wrote over 47 plans for Homeland Security. Some months I was friggin' busy because higher ups said, oh no, we'll push that drill back. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, you guys have been ordering the drill pushed back. However, the Secretary of Homeland Security says we have to have all these plans done by the end of next month. And it's amazing on a conference call to watch all the oh shit looks on people's faces that were pushing it back.
No.
They knew I would dime them out. I save all my emails and I would dime them out in a minute because I ain't taking the butt chewing for something they did.
Yeah, but you have to actually do a drill. You actually with your fire plan, you need to do a drill and make sure that everybody knows that spot and can go to that spot.
Yeah.
Because the school was doing the drill, but they were just telling the kids where to go. They weren't actually taking them there.
Yeah.
And then they didn't even ask, does anybody know where this is? And when the director of that drill, my kids that night asked me, all 3 of them said, Mom, we were told that we would go to this building. So it's the firehouse. We go to the fire department, if there was an active shooter, but I don't know where the fire department is in town. And I'm like, oh. And so I pointed that out to that director.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that everybody knows that's the building. Most active shooters are a disgruntled person from there. So you kind of need to pick someplace everybody doesn't know.
Yeah. And so when testing for your the family fire drill, you need to test it multiple ways. One.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Oh, the Christmas tree caught on fire in the living room. What do you guys do? And make everybody do it, go out and do it. Next one is, oh no, the kitchen caught on fire this time. Where do we go?
Yep.
Oh, the furnace, the little closet, the furnaces just blew open. Where do we go? And that's one of those where you have a fire in the hallway. All of a sudden you see kids first panic. Some kids, others go, cool, I get to climb out the window again. And you know who's been climbing out the windows. I can do that. And they're out the window.
We did that to a teacher at school. We were in the advanced English class, and we were taking a class to get college credit. And she went out she just kept leaving us in the room reading Dostoevsky, and we're falling asleep. And it was such a beautiful sunny day outside, and she went out in the hall to talk to another teacher, and we all climbed out the window and did a Chinese fire drill where we all went out the window and came back in the building, and we're waiting around the corner for her to go in the room so we could follow her back from the hallway into the room. we thought it was funny. She was not amused.
Yeah. All right. This one here, setting the alarm off before I'm see how kids do.
Yeah.
You're going to have anyone who thinks that fire alarm is going to wake the kids up. You got a rude awakening. There have been several studies, and there's even several news things that thing on it. And they had a psychologist and everything. Kids and teenagers' brains function differently. And they did a test where you had teenagers, 16, 17-year-olds. They had 11 and 12-year-olds. They had 8 and 9s, and they even had a 4 and 5-year-olds in these families. And some of the families were firefighter families. And when the alarm goes off, they had infrared cameras set up in the room. They snuck into the room, set the cameras up on the kids. Most of the kids pulled the pillow over their head and just stayed asleep, or didn't even get phased by their just snoring away. Nothing happened. And so, Prepper 101, hello. So one of the things they tested later was something that's new at the time. Here comes Lewis again. Well, got the spinning wheel of death there. There he is. What they have these talking smoke detectors and stuff, and basically you record a message to it. So the one say it's in Andy's room, you go, Andy, wake up! The house is on fire! Get out! Andy, wake up! And it replays that over and over again. And they did it for each of the kids like that, and every one of the kids were mom's voice or dad's voice, especially if it's dad's voice. It's like, we never hear dad's voice. What's going on? And so, yeah, that's, you do a drill. If you don't know this, and it's going, you push the button in the middle of the night and none of the kids get like, what's going on? Now you know. So, and that's why you have plans and stuff for different events. Now the one event I didn't put on there because it's too close to reality here is the wildfire storm. California said, and parts of Canada and Montana 20 years ago, Australia a few years back, where you got fire just going on, is things, it's a little close to home. I think this year, I may add it in December. We'll have to see what happens after this year.
Oh, we lost him again.
Yeah. And so whatever the event is you're planning for, like I said, some of these events, you're not going to plan for ET knocking on your door, can I phone home? But, it's ET, an extraterrestrial arrival. Most people are not going to plan for the Mississippi River fault erupting and separating east and west apart.
I have to. That's the fault line I live on.
Yeah. But most people don't consider that, there is a fault line buried underneath the Mississippi River. And yes, the New Madrid Fault is just a peak of it, and it could go right up into Canada, and it could separate, by, half a mile or larger, but east and the west. That's one of the things I've seen pop up again on the internet here. People talking about it, and very few people ever talk about that one.
I have another personal thing with that one. So I know that has rocked Michigan 3 times in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. The middle one was on the exact day and exact time that my daughter was born. And because the hospital is down into the bedrock, my room was actually shaking while she was being born.
Get out! Get out! Get out of here! You're too supposed to be born! Get out! Get out!
Her dad thought that I was shaking the bed so hard it was making the window curtains shake. We didn't realize there had been an earthquake until the next day when we saw the paper headlines.
Yeah. And some events, California falling off into the ocean. Everybody's heard that. Who has? All right, in the side chat, if you have not heard that California is going to fall off into the ocean, type a 1 if you have not heard that. If you have heard that, type 2.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I just want to see if anybody puts. Grammy Karen's here. I want to see if anybody will put a 1 in there that they have never heard that California is going to fall off into the ocean. Even The Rock was in a movie about it.
And it's been like this big thing that it's just going to happen any minute now since like the 70s.
Yeah. Look who showed up. Okay.
About time.
Here's what my pet peeve with that theory is. It's 180 degrees wrong. Because the continental plate, the Pacific plate, of which part of California is a part of, is going north, and it's coming in, not away. You got the Sierra Madres, which border California and Nevada, and I just had a brain fart to what the mountains along the coast are, the coastal mountains. The coastal mountains are because it's pushing in from. It's pushing. Yeah. So basically, the Pacific plate, the continental plate, it's going up over. So I mean, people go, it's going to fall off. No, it's not. But it might land on top of. It might push Monterey so it lands on top of Fresno. And put Oakland on top of Sacramento.
I was watching a thing on YouTube about how all the continents were hooked up together and they separated.
Oh,
Pangea.
yeah.
Pangea.
Pangea.
Yeah. Oh, I one of my novels, that's a big part of one of my novels I've been working on for a few years. But yeah. Guam might tip over.
No, because that's that whole volcanic chain that builds Hawaii. It's in its own.
It's in the middle of the Pacific, like Hawaii's out in the middle. It's not on the ring of fire. It's in the heart of the fire.
Yeah. It's already past there and moving out away from it.
Yeah. And that's the other one. Should I add reforming of Pangea to one of the events? I'll go in December. After Pangea reforms.
It'll be a lot easier to build roads to nowhere.
At least they're going all back together, all the continents.
Yeah, that's Pangea reforming.
Yep. So it's all one continent again.
Oh man.
Yeah, because they were saying if you put it all back together and twist them a little bit, they fit in a strategic way.
Yeah.
Well, thing is though too, if there's something that causes the place to back together, there ain't going to match right, and there's going to be a lot of. It's going to look like a one of the traffic accidents on Interstate 5 in California in the fog. If I live long, see Pangea.
True, Sandy. So true.
Yeah.
It's on that list of events I'm not preparing for.
Okay, someone's making. I'm going to add something else in here. Hang on here. Come on. Oops, F9. There we go. Got that one in. All right, and I hit save so I don't lose those ideas. All right, we're up to December 22nd. But actually, I got an open spot I got to fill on the Ides of March. I'm not going to do anything on the Ides of March. Oh yeah, Thule fog. Oh yeah, and you can drive around a corner, and you're driving. It's like you're driving into a brick wall of fog. And the problem is, most people will slow down. You get the few idiots that, oh, it's just a little breeze. I'm going to go right through it, 60 miles an hour. Yeah.
Never drive faster than your headlights. That's what my dad taught me.
Yeah. Yes, that is. Let me go back up here. Economy collapses. I got China's economy collapsing. I got the U.S. economy collapsing. So yeah, I got both those in there. I didn't think about doing something about Europe's economy collapsing because Europe's not that much invested in the United States debt as much as China is. That's why I did China in there. But yeah. No, thank you. Ides of March just came in. I don't know why I didn't have that in there because I am a big Terminator fan.
That's what I was just thinking was Terminator, but I didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah. Actually, hang on. I got to do this right now. Skynet is behind us. All right. Ides of March. Hang on here. I got to down to the end here. Oh, too far. Sorry. This is the hard part about making out a list this far in advance, is making sure I have March. Boom, put that in there. After Skynet. That's the best way to do it. Activate. After Skynet activates. I think that will do it on that one. So we now have solid events up through December 27th.
Did we get after the nuclear explosion at the local power plant?
After the nuclear power plants explode. Got that one now. Wait a minute. I'm going to change the background again. And take it back up to comments. And all right, what I miss here?
I'll never forget, I asked what the disaster preparedness plan was if our local chemical plant exploded. And I was working at the hospital next to it, within 3 miles of it. And the person who was in charge of the disaster plan looked at me and said, "That's not our problem because none of us will be here."
Yeah.
He's like, there will be nothing within 50-mile radius of that building.
All right. I know. I see your CBS News. CBS News has gone really off the edge, anyways. About Guam overbuilding and tipping over. Problem is, that's like taking the Pyramid of Giza, knocking off the top block, and building a city up there, and thinking it's going to tip the whole thing over. Guam is on a top of a mountain. It's not a floating island. It's not a boat. It's not going to tip over. I mean, that one, I won't even address that one because that's too weirded out for me on a Saturday night. That's gonna fall under Skynet.
Diana, I'm really upset because the Jetsons promised me by this time I would have a flying car. George Jetson had one, and I don't have one. I'm kind of upset.
They didn't tell you how much George Jetson cost George Jetson, how much in debt he was for the next 40 years.
It doesn't matter. He had a robot that cleaned his house.
Roomba.
Never.
Oh, I saw a reel. I keep seeing it, but I haven't saved it because it's kind of, you can buy an AI robot with synthetic flesh on it for $150,000, and they can program a personality into it, and you can get either male or female. Yeah. So there's your maid vacuuming the house.
My luck, I get the sassy one that doesn't want to do anything and sits on the sofa and eats my food.
Okay, you just got my hair. Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. Fat guy, fluffy guy, comedian.
Oh, okay, yes.
All right, he bought iPhones for his crew, and his main guy that's always with him, the guy that kind of looks like Machete. Anyways, he went out and got so drunk he fell asleep on his bed. Came in, fell asleep on his bed with his iPhone in his front pocket, and peed himself. So they went down to the Apple store to get him a new one, and he goes, and the person goes, "Well, what color do you want? You have white or black?" He goes, "I already have white." And the other guy said, "Oh, yeah, give me a black one." And then Gabriel goes, "I wonder if a black iPhone Siri was really a black iPhone Siri. Siri, what's the temperature? Why don't you open the window and let's stick your head outside?" He does it in the accent. And it's like, all sorts of funny things like that. But yeah, that's what you just triggered that memory.
So Aaron and I bought identical iPhone 4s back when iPhone 4 came out. He had one color, I had the other color. His phone, you say, "Siri, where's the nearest pizza place?" His phone would pull up the local pizza place. My phone would pull up a pizza place in Detroit 4 hours away. Even though they were both set up identical. The location was set up identical. Everything was identical except the exterior color of that phone. I said, I got the dumb Siri. He got the smart one. My Siri could never answer the questions. There is a difference in some of them.
Artificial wombs? No, I have not seen the artificial wombs. I've seen things 20 years ago what they were supposed to look like when they were doing stuff, but no.
No, just no.
Do I have After the Water Has Become Contaminated? Sort of. I have it called After the Water Stops Flowing. And why it stops flowing can be any number of reasons. Let's see where I'm going here. I'm just catching up on the side chat here. And when your car flies, you hear the music. Just some good old boys. Never mean. Oh, let's see what we got here.
Can I have John Snyder and Tom Wopat with me when I do that?
Paper straw destroy the earth. Oh yeah. I'm just looking up here. Okay. Okay, just trying to catch up on stuff.
I can't see them. I have to switch back and forth. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, agreed. I think everybody here can agree on that one. Oh, all right. So anyways, that's what's going to be happening. We're going to be talking about specific events. First 20 minutes is going to be talking about the event, laying down some of the ground rules and stuff. Then we're going to talk about aftermath for the remaining 40 minutes or whatever. Unless it's really interesting, we may go a little bit longer. We have some really good stuff going on. We may go longer. Wow.
What do you think ended the? What do you think ended the dinosaurs?
Personally, from what I've heard from what I've heard from real scientists, it wasn't one thing, and it was multiple things, including the Siberian basalt flows. Is timed at the same is the document is about the same within, as close as they can do, within a century of the Yucatan Peninsula. And then there were some other things, but then there are a lot of scientists saying that's the same time there was a micronova off the sun.
Well, whatever caused it caused global flooding because they're all buried in the mud. Have you ever noticed how they find all of them buried in the mud?
Yeah.
So there was some sort of catastrophic water event, but a nova could cause that.
Okay, let me go to what was I going to look up? Shoot. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. Okay. Just for laughs and giggles, people. What we have here is, come on, let's work. Yes, Catherine Bach she turned 71 today. She's 3 years older than me. John Snyder is 64. He's younger than me. Tom Wopat, come on, computer, bring it. 73. He was the oldest of them. Roscoe passed away. Denver passed away. Uncle Jesse passed away. Cooter is 83. Cooter is 83. Boss Hogg passed away. Enos is 89. Wow. Waylon Jennings passed away. What's his name? Cletus Hogg, Boss Hogg's nephew, is 79. And the other Duke cousins they brought in, Coy Duke, 69. Vance Duke is, he passed away. So yeah, there's
John
one of my
Snyder
favorite movies. One of my favorite John Wayne movies. Everyone in the movie is gone.
Oh. John Snyder's still looking pretty good, and so is Tom Wopat.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, yeah. So you're looking at he's 60. All right, yeah. John Snyder better be looking good. He's 3 years younger than I am. Tom Wopat
He just lost his wife to cancer, though. It's pretty. He's writing a book about it. He's had a really rough time.
Yeah. Tom Wopat is 73, so he's, 6 years older than I am. I always, in the series, always thought that Bo was older than Luke. And it's the other way around.
Because they always said Bo's name first. It was always Bo and Luke instead of Luke and Bo.
Yeah. But anyways. Yeah, Waylon Jennings, the music was great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what was it? Yeah. There was a bunch of stuff going on during that 500-year period in there. Oh, all right. Before I wrap it up here, the latest theory, and there's a lot of paleontologists trying to prove it now. There are so many cultures that describe dragons. And prior to recent history, there was no such thing as dinosaurs listed. Everything was referred to as a dragon. Tyrannosaurus Rex. You look at a bird like the ostrich. Oh, it's got little arms. No, it's got wings. You look at the dodo. Oh, it's got little arms. No, it's got wings. Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's got little arms. No, it's got wings. That would change the whole thing around being chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's got wings that flies. It's
breathing fire.
Yeah. I just John Snyder remarried already?
Did. I follow him on Facebook. I missed that completely.
Bring it back up. Go down here. He married last year.
I missed that completely.
About 1 year after his previous wife died. That's something I've noticed, that sometimes, of course, he's been married 1, 2, this is his 4th wife. People that have been married and divorced several times, when they lose one to natural causes, generally get married fairly quickly because it wasn't a fight. There's no bitterness there. They want the happiness they were sharing.
Yeah.
All righty. So coming up, that I think we covered everything as far as for the Saturdays through where are we at now? Through January 3rd for the event. So I can keep adding events if you guys have decent events and decent, and give me an outline of what you're thinking about when you email me on it. So coming up Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, we're doing canning questions and answers.
Yes.
So it's going to be kind of really an open chat, pop-up questions and stuff. I saw an interesting post on Rebel Canner's Facebook today. And there was a big split in what to do with it. It was talking about some jam, and the lid stuck on, but it was going at first it was going ding 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 ding, and now it's back down. It's kind of stuck there, and someone says, throw it away. A couple, and I was like, no, unless it's moldy, it's sugar coated.
Yeah, it's 100% sugar. Unless it's moldy, you don't have to throw it away. They didn't used to even seal jam. They used to just do the wax coating just to keep
wax, or they use the bale lids with a rubber gasket. Yeah. So it's not really a vacuum seal on it, but yeah. There were several people though that commented on that. Even if it's moldy, just take a spoon, scrape, half inch, quarter inch.
Okay, the problem with that, and I'm of the scrape it off. That's how I was raised. But having worked with auger and mold in auger, which is a Jello, it gets its fingers out and it goes out and it travels over here, and you can't see from here to there, but it's traveling through that auger. So even though you can't see all the spots that have mold, that mold has traveled all through that. So once you get mold on it, you need to throw it out. I was raised to scoop it out and throw it away, just the moldy part, but no.
I was raised for moldy cheese, do the same thing. You cut it like a 1/4 inch back into it and toss it.
No. My mother was of the very stout opinion that moldy cheese was penicillin. And you don't cut it off and toss it. Cut it off and you eat it. And she ate it. I did not.
Yeah.
Same with moldy bread.
What's blue cheese?
It's inoculated with a special, super lovely tasting mold. Yeah. And so are almost every other Swiss cheese. That's where the holes come from.
All right. Now, back here on Tuesday for Tactical Tuesday, the topic on Tactical Tuesday is Welcome to Bartertown. And that was suggested by Mark. Thursday night is the Midnight Ride. Friday on Camp Pat Family Compound. What are your favorite foods that are healthy? I'm thinking about my favorite foods that are healthy. Pot roast, T-bone, ribeye, skirt steak. All right. Next Saturday, the first real event is going to be after the power grid collapses. And so I got some scary information dealing with that possibility, which is true, scary information. So I'm just looking at the thing. Loch Ness, Bigfoot. Well, yeah, those aren't really events, but those are, people think about them. All right, so that's what's coming up here, folks. Remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Trying to pretend you're Bo and Luke Duke.
Yeah. Don't jump the bridge.
Yeah. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill every month and grow something indoors. And with that, everyone, see you on Monday, hopefully.
Have a good night.
Oh, all right, quick. That's next Saturday.